If by chance you're watching your blood sugar and you want to be prepared for the days ahead, stay with us in the next few minutes because we're going to talk about one of the easiest ways you can prepare by growing your own stevia. So stay with us. Stevia is one of those miraculous plants that we've all heard of by now, but very few of us have probably tried to grow our own. In actuality, this plant right here is very easy to grow, especially if you're in a warmer climate. So those of you who are in zones 10 and above have got it made. But the cool thing is that this perennial also grows fantastic as a house plant inside your home. So you could actually grow it all year round and have yourself a sweetener that is in fact 300 times sweeter than traditional table sugar. So that's why I call this a miracle plant, because who would have ever guessed that something so small and simple with just little leaves, which I love, you can actually pull off and put in your mouth right now and taste that 300 times sweeter than sugar. It's literally that way right off the plant. This is an amazing thing that each one of us should learn how to grow. You can order seeds online. There are a number of different places now that carry them. You want to try to make sure that you get organic stevia seeds, and really it should be somewhere around $5 for you to buy about 50 seeds. That should be plenty. This is a perennial that you can have a few seeds maybe not work for you before you get some good thriving stevia, and then when it gets cooler in the later months of the year, go ahead and just pull it inside and get it in a sunny window. The one thing I've noticed is that it does love water, so I have to water it almost every day or every couple of days just to keep it nice and thriving. But I can use the leaves right off of this plant to sweeten my tea and coffee and such in the morning. The one thing I have noticed is that if I use it raw like this, it actually I go through it really fast because the sweetness kind of is trapped in that moisture that's still in those leaves. So it actually helps us if we can harvest this, and that's why I'm showing it to you today, because we're going to harvest some right now and take it into our food dehydrator. If we dry out these leaves, they actually go a lot farther, because then when I put it into my tea to steep, it actually releases all of that wonderful sweetness and stretches a whole lot farther. So let's do that right now. I've brought in this nice little batch and I've washed it up real well at the sink. Thankfully the bugs don't get it too bad, so there wasn't any problem there. But I get it all washed off and take off any of the little black edges that might be anywhere on it. We just want the best leaves. And incidentally, the sweetness is primarily in the leaves. I am dehydrating the stems as I've got them, but really I already know the answer to my experiment, and that is I know that the sweetness is in the leaves. I just want to see how sweet the stems are. So I'm dehydrating a few for fun, but just keep in mind the sweetness you'll find is all in the leaves. Now I'm going to get this all filled up, all the trays, until I've got every leaf accounted for here. And then I'm going to just set the dehydrator at about 100 degrees Fahrenheit or somewhere around 40 degrees Celsius. And just kind of watch it, but let it set for a few hours. It dries very quickly and is nothing to worry about, but it will make those nice and small and easy for us to crumble up once we have got them nicely dehydrated in just a few hours. So just keep an eye on it, and I would say expect it to take about 3 or 4 hours at the temperatures that I've mentioned. All right, this has gone for about 3 hours and I've turned off the food dehydrator. I'm going to remove the lid here and take a look, and beautifully we have got a wonderful batch of finished stevia leaves. I might have had them done in just 2 hours if I had set it higher, but what you want to look for is these perfectly dried leaves. I don't want them to be brown, which they're not, but they will literally just crush right beneath my fingers. Crumble perfectly up just as I would like them to. And I'll put that right there. But let me just talk you through what I would do to process these at this point. So The easy way is this. If you've got a little coffee grinder about like this that you allocate just for all of your herbs, it's perfect for this kind of thing, because not only can you adjust how coarse or fine you grind it up, but also it lets you adjust by how full you have it and how much product you're wanting to grind up in the first place. So it turns itself off. It knows exactly how long to get it just right, and that is a wonderful little addition. However, it's also good to have a backup plan in the case that you didn't have electricity, and so a mortar and pestle works just as well. These are so nice and crispy that they're going to crumble perfectly in a little mortar and pestle, or even right under your fingertips. If you wanted to just hold your hands over a plate, you could crumble them all up by hand. What you come up with at the end is going to look about like this product right here at the bottom here, and you'll notice I've done this pretty coarsely. Now, I could put it back in here and put it on the fine setting and it would pulverize it into a perfect powder, and that's wonderful if I'm going to bake with it. However, for me personally, most often my stevia is used to sweeten all of my drinks and liquids. So to do that, I like to infuse them, and if I had it in a powder form, it wouldn't be quite what I wanted. So my handy tool that I use often is the little tea infuser, tea fob. I can fill it up with these just as though they were tea leaves and let it steep in my tea or coffee or drink just as long as it needs to make it the perfect sweetness. All right, now I want to hear your stories. If you have grown stevia before, share with us your adventures and what your favorite recipes are, or how you like to process yours. But take a minute, share this video with someone else that it might bless, and I hope that you'll take the time to write into us, let us know what your favorite things are to do with this, and we'll see you next time. Hey, before you go, let me share a quick minute of scripture. This is actually out of Proverbs chapter 22, verse 1. It says, "A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, and favor is much better than silver or gold." Now go spread the word.